Okay. Its title, Our War Effort.
Wait.
I was born on a small Appalachian farm in Pulaski, Kentucky in January 1938. The farm was mostly worked by hand with the aid of 2 horses and a mule. When I was about 3.5 years old, the event that I described was so unusual that I still clearly remember it. I was the youngest of 5 children that survived. We children slept in the overhead loft. My 3 older brothers each had a bed. I shared a bed with my sister. We stored our treasures under our beds. When I was alone, I had the chance to examine everyone's treasures. My older brother, Brady, had acquired a large stack of pulp books showing World War I fighter planes with 2 wings and some with 3 wings, fighting each other. Brady wanted to become a fighter pilot. When Brady was 17 years old in 1936, he asked our mother to let him enlist in the Army Air Force and skip his senior year in high school. He said he did not want to be a farmer and he could not stand the sweat beads any longer. He enlisted, and after taking lots of tests was told that he could not be a fighter pilot without having a high school diploma, but he could be a fighter plane mechanic. He was trained at what is now Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and was then sent to Panama Canal Zone Air Base. In 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, the American Air Force was very impressed by the use of the German fighter planes. They decided that the U.S. Air Force needed lots of fighter plane pilots. So Brady was invited to return to his high school for the 1939-1940 class and get his diploma and then become a fighter pilot. In 1940, Brady received his pilot training in Texas. Part of his training was to fly P-40 fighter planes from Texas to New York State. It was only a little out of his way to fly over our farm. We never knew when he was coming. We just heard a loud roar and chickens, pigs, cows, and horses screaming and running for the hills. We ran outside, and there was Brady, this P-40 fighter plane, with its canopy open and him waving at us. Ag and milk production fell for a few days. In New York, he was told to land at the base near the Canada border. He was told where to park the plane and where to eat and where to sleep. In the morning, when he went to get the plane, it was gone. He was told that some thieves put a hook in the plane and towed it across the border. Brady said that other P-40 pilots had similar experiences. In 1940, our Congress was very isolationist and forbid any action that might cause the U.S. to get involved in the war. President Roosevelt and Winston Churchill were best friends, and England was being bombed to death. England was losing lots of fighter planes. Lots of Canadian men wanted to help fight the Germans. All the Canadians needed were pilot trainer planes, and the U.S. had lots of P-40 planes. 1940 was an important election year. President Roosevelt was running for a 3rd term. Any assistance to England could affect the election. Thanks to those thieving Canadians who were able to help England at a critical time. I can remember 3 of Brady's bombing runs over our farm. So Brady was involved in an action that was a little bit against the law. And the illustration of the P-40 bombing run over our farm was this one here. By Andy. His name is right there.